Hello, and welcome back to Watching Brief for a brief watch on Christmas Eve. I'm joined, as ever, by my co-host, Mr. Andy Brockman. Good evening, Andy. How are you doing?
Good evening. Here at Brockman's house, I'm just taking a brief break from the kitchen because we're doing all the Christmas prep, so sausage rolls, mince pies, and all of that. And I'm about to go and cook our evening meal. So I'm just
Wonderful.
taking time out to wish you and all our viewers a if whatever you're celebrating in the midwinter solstice fire festival or whatever. We're just joining you just a 10 minutes or so just to say hi.
Yes, absolutely. Although I think it is okay to say Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, whatever. And I don't mean that in a political sense. I mean it
No.
purely in the sense that actually people may, if you're looking for something interesting to watch, me and a friend of the show, Michelle Franklin, we do festive quizzes, seasonal quizzes. And one of them last year was about Christmas. And this interesting phenomenon that neither of us really are particularly invested in what you call this time of year. But she's fascinated by the fact that there's been this huge sort of influx of effort in the past decade, at least, to sort of talk about Saturnalia and Yule and so on and so forth. In fact, we don't know when Yule was. Yule was probably sometime in January, but we don't know for sure. So it's an interesting thing. Certainly, but one thing we do know though is this is, of course, in and around the winter solstice. It's a time when the sun is at its lowest in the sky and then starts to rise. So yeah, as you say, pick your poison and have a good time, I think.
And in fact, if you really want to put your liver at high risk, you can go medieval and, as the carol says, celebrate all 12 days.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing as well, folks at home. 12 Days of Christmas begins tomorrow, all the way through
Yeah.
December. Especially on YouTube, for example, you'll have people going, "Oh, we're going to do 12 Days of Christmas in the build up to Christmas." That's not when it is. It goes through to January. So,
Yeah.
but obviously we're not here just to be curmudgeonly and retentive about about festive facts. Obviously,
Actually, you mentioned the midwinter solstice that we had a couple of days ago on the 21st. I'd like to add something else to celebrate, actually, which is particularly for archaeologists, and that is that the midwinter solstice is the what we assume was a prehistoric feast. Places like Stonehenge appear to have been aligned to the midwinter solstice.
yeah, Newgrange.
Chamber tomb, chamber tombs in Ireland. And now it's become the festival of the publication of the new paper with a new theory about Stonehenge, because you're guaranteed of getting coverage in the Daily Mail.
Yeah, because it's interesting, isn't it? It's this time of year that suddenly the news becomes very interested in space, in history, and in archaeological news, definitely.
It's funny, actually. You talk about space. Earlier on, not only was I watching yet another rerun of the wonderful Close Encounters of the Third Kind, but I was driving down to the shops earlier, and on the BBC's lunchtime news program, in fact, one of the lead items was the probe that is undertaking currently, as we speak, the closest ever flyby of the sun.
Yeah. Flying through the
really
corona.
exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really exciting.
And well, hopefully it survives, and hopefully we get some interesting data back from it. But also as well, I seem to be under the impression that we've mentioned Stonehenge, that there's another henge in our midst. You sent me a link earlier today, and
Yes.
yeah, well, I'll let you explain.
This one is but the apple of the designer's eye at the moment, as presumably Stonehenge was at one point. Ugg the cave person had this wonderful idea. There's these rocks lying around.
Don't do that. Don't you know better than that? There's never been Ugg the cave person. Never happened.
I'm sorry. No. It's just that for people that haven't caught up with it, the latest one of the latest theories is that. Which actually has been around for a while. It's just been taken up for new cancer with new evidence. But that Stonehenge was some kind of designed as some kind of unifying monument for the island of what's now the island of Great Britain in the Neolithic. the various populations came together to help build it. And some of the evidence that has been applied to this is the recent work on the origins of the stones, or some of the stones at least, which appear to, or at least one major stone appears to come from Scotland.
Yes, the oldest stone.
Or at least the north of Britain.
Mm.
Obviously, Scotland didn't exist in those days.
No.
Neither did Britain. So,
nor England. Shock horror.
Nor England, we're into all those wonderful realms of archaeological speculation, and we're never going to quite know. So it's something that people can build entire careers.
But that's not what you sent me a link about. You sent me a link to like a modern henge, didn't you?
Well, yes,
yeah,
absolutely. Just off the M1 is a town called Luton, and there is a plan to famous for its airport. In fact, the famous single called Luton Airport came out, I think, in the 1970s. Luton is going to have its own henge, apparently. There have been community discussions about it. An artist has produced concept art for it, and it's associated with actually part of the historic landscape in Luton. So this idea that other henges are available. Not only are other henges available, other henges may well get built in the next few years.
Actual henges are available. Stonehenge isn't even a henge, technically.
This is, you can tell I'm not a prehistorian, can't you?
No, but actually, I did like your comment though that some enthusiastic folk are already drafting a plan to dig a tunnel under it when it's completed. So, yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I suspect that might well turn up in our look back at 2024 archaeologically. I'd dig down through the layers of 2024.
Yeah, well, actually, in that sense, yeah. So we're planning on having a bit of a reflection on the year just gone, and also we'd like to invite you at home to consider what you think might be both important in 2024, but also what you think is on the horizon for the coming year in the world of archaeology, nationally, internationally. All comers are welcome, and I think the more you're interested in something that we don't know about, the more likely I think we are to go and be excited by that. So definitely, no matter how small it is, just comment below, let us know, and hopefully we'll have an interesting Janus-like backward and forward look for 24-25. Are you optimistic, Andy, for the coming calendar year?
Given that I'm currently involved in dealing with a significant developer issue around where I live, which is showing all that's bad in the current development system. No. But on the other hand, yes. Look, I mean, it will be what it will be, and archaeologists will deal with what they're dealt. And some of it will be good, some of it will be bad, some will be funny, some of it will be sad. It'll, all human and heritage life is there, I guess, is what we're going to end up with. And obviously, there are many more important things going on in the world than just the world of archaeology. So we've got an eye to. We're archaeologists. We're part of communities as well as our own community, and I think we have to bear that in mind too.
Yeah, and I have to say something that occurred to me today. Obviously, we're surrounded at the moment in the house by food, alcohol, and family, as you should be, I suppose. But also, I was listening to a news report earlier today about famine, man-made because of displaced people, famine in Sudan. Obviously, the ongoing effects of conflict in Gaza, Syria, Lebanon, so on and so forth, Ukraine,
and actually, yeah, I mean, all of those. We're coming up for the 3rd anniversary of the Ukraine war. But close to home, I mean, one of my colleagues is spending Christmas coordinating a crisis refuge for homeless people here in London in the 21st century.
Well, that's good. That's a real positive. Yeah. Well, on that note, folks, have a wonderful time, even if this just constitutes not being bothered by people. It's a perfectly valid thing to enjoy. No office emails. And we will see you for our special in between Christmas and New Year. And here's hoping that we all get to relax a little bit, because I think we've all learned.
Absolutely. As the song says about Christmas. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear.
Mm. Mm. And plenty of beer. Anyway, right. Take care, guys. Bye.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Bye bye, and good and best to all of you out there, and to Mark, you and yours.
Actually, it's milkshake I've got here. It's milkshake.
I didn't get a chance to show off my. This is the outtake. I didn't get a chance to show off my sausage roll and mince pie.
Oh, okay. Well, you should have put them on your head, man. I've got a hat. Like,
well, the other thing, I have waiting. I have waiting to start a bit of Disney product placement. The Lilo and Stitch wrapping.
Oh yeah, very popular this year, Lilo and Stitch. Yeah.
Yeah. Incredibly popular.
Yeah.
AC, my granddaughter, is hugely into Lilo and Stitch. But then I think this, aren't they? I think it's not. Isn't it another one of the Disney live action movies is planned?
Yes. Yeah, they're making a live action version of it. Yeah. And we won't talk about Moana 2. Doesn't exist.
Have you seen it?
Speaking of which, actually, well, I have seen parts of it, and I'm not a fan. Right. The first one was fantastic, but also we're going to go and watch Muppets Christmas Carol as well. So that's what we do on Christmas Eve.
Right. I watched my Christmas Eve movie the other night, which is Die Hard.
Oh, we did that. We did that at the beginning of December, man. Our advent calendar is Hans Gruber falling out of Nakatomi Tower.
Oh God! You know what? That is we are getting far too alike here, because I've got not only have I got Hans Gruber falling out of the Nakatomi Tower, which I've just moved down to 24 this morning, but I've got a Hans Gruber Christmas tree decoration as well.
No. Oh, we have. I made a Bruce Willis in the duct with and we put a yellow light through for his lighter. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant!
I'm going to have to put photos up on the screen for people to see. Well, I guess this has been a little bit of an outtake for folks. But yes.
Actually, you could do. We should do more outtakes. We should do more outtakes, lighten the mood a bit.
I think so.
Yeah. Take things far too seriously.
Yeah, but
sometimes.
But nonetheless, have a fantastic festive period, folks, and we'll catch you soon.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye.